I mean, I'll use that side of the waiting, but
Well, I mean, it's only showing to. Yeah, still good. It's recording.
go. You take your pass. Well, I'll just tell you the video. We'll get it done.
I was just my paper with my employee number.
You take it. You never got sent. They never emailed her. Phone number.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. As usual, it's a beautiful Wednesday here at Seven Summits Live. I'm here with talented chef Dino Cruz. He's going to prepare a chicken fennel artichoke dish today. As always, if you would like to check the recipe out for yourself and try it at home, you're welcome to do that. The recipes are posted on MTL. With that said, I'll turn it over to the talented chef here. Have a great day. Welcome, you guys. We're going to do something really quick and simple. Pretty much like a one pan dish. I know the recipes that I sent out. It kind of tells you to make the couscous because we're doing a chicken fennel artichoke dish with sun-dried tomato couscous. The recipes do tell you to make the couscous separately, but I think we're going to do one portion today, so we're going to make it a little bit more fun and just do one single pan. So we have the pan on low to medium heat. We're gonna saute our chicken breast with a little bit of oil there. Keep in mind we can drain a little bit of the oil out. And have this chicken breast here. Alright, we're gonna turn it down a little bit. And then we're going to do a fresh cracked black pepper. A little bit of kosher salt on there. Okay. And we're going to just gently saute it so it's golden brown here. So we're having a low heat. While we're pan frying now, we're going to work on our little mise en place. So ingredients that we have some sun-dried tomatoes. Now these are purchased in the oil. They're purchased in the oil, so make sure you do it that way. They'll be a little bit more tender. We have fresh basil, some caper berries, a little minced garlic, a shallot, some fresh thyme, whole butter, a lemon, artichokes, a fennel bulb, which is a little bit ginormous here. We're only going to use a little bit of that. And then our couscous, we're using a 1/3 cup dry couscous to half a cup of chicken stock. Put that in. Okay? So right now we're just going to prep a little bit of our stuff here. Let's start with the basil. We're just going to pick the basil off the stem. We're going to do a chiffonade on the basil. So we're just really going to kind of shred it as fine as we can get it there. So there we have our basil. Try and get all the little bits left over on the cutting board there. We're going to do our shallot. As you can see, the outside of the shallot not looking too good. So we're going to kind of peel it like an onion and discard the outer layer and use the inside here. So again, thin slices. Really as soon as you can get it. So as you guys can see, it's fairly thin. Probably don't need all of that, so we're going to use about half. Put that in there. And then we have our fresh thyme. I'm actually going to use the thyme. I went ahead and washed it, and I'm actually going to put the whole fresh thyme sprig in there, and then pull it out when we're putting our dish. We have our artichokes already quartered, so we're going to go to our last mixing block here. But first, I think we're going to flip our chicken over. We have a nice brown going on there. Put something in here. And I'm going to go ahead and season the other side a little bit more. The sun-dried tomato, again, like it has a little bit of oil in there, so that's okay. We want that. We want a little bit of that to go in our dish. So we're going to kind of just julienne our sun-dried tomatoes here. This is about 3 ounces. Okay, putting it back in there. So as you can see, I saved the messiest chopping for the end. That way our cutting board, you don't have to keep cleaning it. So, all right, so we're pan frying our chicken here. I also do have a couple of other, in case we need it, a high temperature rubber spatula, a couple of tasty spoons, thermometer, very important, and a zester or a microplane that we're going to use for our lemon. So you want to continuously be hearing the nice sizzling sound of the chicken. If it gets too quiet, then your temperature is a little bit too low. So at this point, I would say we're about brown on both sides, but you know the chicken's not going to be at the desired 165-degree temperature that we must have it in. But you can start introducing other ingredients to the pan. Now this is a good time to kind of drain a little bit of that oil. I have a drip pan here that I'm just going to drain just a little bit of that oil, so we don't need about half the oil I drained out. Okay. And then, oh, I forgot, speaking of messy things, I did forget to do our fennel bowl. So again, the fennel bowl, that's the stem there. And we're just going to do some really thin. And that's going to be all right. And the stem's a little bit, the bottom part's okay there. All right, so there's we have our fennel, just thin slice. Put that there. So we can start, as you can see as well, we do have a little bit of browning on the bottom of the pan, which is exactly what we want. We're trying to create maximum flavor. Okay. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit just because we're going to start adding stuff to it. So once you start introducing new components to the pan, new ingredients to the pan, then obviously it's going to start losing a little bit of temperature. We're going to start with the shallot. And the fennel. just gonna stir that up, keeping in mind that we don't want to brown the bottom of the pan. Or we do want to brown the bottom of the pan, but we don't want to burn it. Excuse me, that's what I meant. So we do want to create all that flavor there. So keep in mind, you have to keep hearing the nice sizzling going on, otherwise your pan is going to be a little bit too cold. It needs to get a little bit hotter. Okay. So we're going to caramelize the shallots and the fennel in there. At this point, a little bit of salt and pepper would be awesome. Just a little splash there, right on the shallots and the fennel. All right, so I'm just browning it again, keeping in mind to have that steady, even heat. I am using a heavy bottom steel pan, so it does maintain its more even heat than an aluminum pan. So you just kind of want to keep that in mind. Okay. At this point, I'm going to introduce a little bit of garlic. Over there, probably about a half a teaspoon. So we're going to caramelize our shallots and our fennel, and then about halfway through, or 3/4 of the way through, then we add our garlic. And then we're going to add our sun-dried tomatoes. A little bit of that oil is going to be good oil. Yummy, delicious oil. So we're just going to have a dry towel there for the handle because it starts getting a little bit warm. So again, we're just focusing on getting that really good brown on the bottom of our saute pan there. It's really part of the steps when you're sauteing. Browning the protein and other ingredients is a necessary step when you saute things, right? And also the next step would be deglazing. So instead of using white wine, we're going to use some dry sherry. It's like an $8 bottle of dry sherry. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and add our thyme in there. So this looks really nice in there. Hopefully the glare of the light is okay. All right. So we have our whole thyme in there. We're just going to pick that out later when we're doing up our dish. So the important part here is taking it off the flame in case you have too much alcohol content in your sherry. It can the flame can go inside the bottle. So you just want to take it off the heat there. I'm going to do about 3 ounces. It's too really good at deglazing action. As you can see, it lifted up a lot of our ingredients off the pan there. And then this is where you kind of take the spatula and really scrape the bottom of this. We're going to turn it down back to the heat. So this is the important part. After you deglaze it, the acidity from the dry sherry will help tremendously in getting all that brown on the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to add our other ingredients, our artichokes. I don't know if I want, that's a lot of artichokes. We're going to do about 2/3 of that, about 6 or 7 for the artichokes. We're going to add our capers, about a tablespoon there. And we're going to just kind of reduce that sherry. So as you can see, it's starting to dry up a little bit here. So our cherry is reducing, creating a deeper flavor for our dish. This is when we're going to introduce a little stock. Introduce our stock. So again, this is about a half cup. So our ingredients left at this point is going to be the whole butter to finish, the lemon for a little bit of that acidity, some fresh basil, and our couscous. Okay. So as soon as the stock simmers, we've had our chicken breast in there the whole time. So in doing so, we continue the cooking method on it. So we just want to make sure that our temperature is going to be there. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it up. Let it come to a simmer here. And then as you can see, we have some really good color on our liquid there, nice and brown. Oh, that's also from the sun-dried tomatoes, but believe me, browning all the ingredients is just increasing flavor tremendously. Okay, there you go. So we got a little bit of a simmer action going. This is where I'm going to go ahead and check our thermometer. We're looking for 165 degrees. Should be there. We are at 163. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of let it simmer in there another few seconds. At this point, it's a good time to taste our sauce. Because, I mean, the chicken's almost cooked. It's 164. Our liquid is simmering gently, so should be okay to taste it at this point. Yummy. Okay. Okay. I think it's safe to, let's see, we also have carryover cooking where our chicken breast will continuously cook about another 2-3 degrees as we let it sit. So now I'm getting about 167. So, yeah. So at this point, we are going to add our couscous. Just kind of sprinkle it around there. So it should absorb that liquid. I'm going to remove our chicken breast from there. Just make sure there's no couscous on there. And just kind of let it sit here. And then we're going to stir. So again, the ratio is at 1/3 cup of couscous for a 1/2 cup of stock. So just kind of gently simmer at this point and let it absorb all the way. Get soft on this. It cooks in like 2 minutes. Okay, we're going to remove our fresh thyme sprigs out of there. So we have a few. Because the flavor from the stems are kind of what we're looking for. I love the flavor of the stems. You just have to do a little bit more work removing them when you're done. But not bad. Alright, so right now we just kind of have our couscous mixture. Finish it with a little whole butter and fresh basil and a touch of lemon. We're done with this guy. So now I'm going to put some gloves on. trying to get our zest here because this is almost ready to eat food. So we're just gonna take our microplane and kind of just get about a quarter teaspoon of nice zest there. Keep in mind that if you you don't want to go further than the yellow because once you get to the white part, it gets kind of bitter. Okay. So I did that. We're also gonna cut it so we can get a little bit of juice. Okay. Done. Our fresh basil is gonna go in. Our whole butter. I did about a tablespoon here. Just gonna add a little bit more liquid to there. Again, it's on low heat right now, keep that in mind, so we're just gonna kind of incorporate our butter in there. And now we will add our little bit of lemon. A little bit of that zest. Love that. And we are pretty much finished. As soon as the butter is all the way melted and incorporated, I saw a little bit of a chunk in there still. I'm going to try it again real quick here. Just to make sure our couscous is nice and tender. All right. Well, there it is. Let's see. I think it needs a little bit more of that butter. We're going to go ahead and just finish that last pack. You know, it has to contrast the, because the artichokes are going to be, you know, pretty tart, and then the capers as well. So you kind of want to balance out that tartness lemony with some good old-fashioned butter. All right. So we have a nice pretty bowl here. I'm going to put some gloves on for this. Oh, also when we bought our fennel, I'll show you guys, it had some fronds attached to it. Okay. Now most of the time this just kind of gets thrown away, but we are going to use it to garnish. And you only need a little bit. Okay, so that's why I have gloves on here. We are going to put our artichokes here, I mean our couscous and artichoke dish here. Honestly, it looks a little big, but like for one serving, it looks, I would be able to eat all of that. There we go. We have our chicken breast, which we're gonna slice. Just that way it looks a little bit nicer than just a piece of whole chicken on there. Right. We're gonna do a little bit of our fennel fronds here. All right. So there we go. Bring it up for a close-up. Okay, so there we have it, showing a little bit of artichokes in there, a little bit of capers, some our tomatoes, and our chicken breast sliced. Oops, there we go. There we go. There it is. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope to see you next time.